So this week I was tasked with um, analyzing and understanding the struggles and difficulties that this restaurant, Gino's, was facing during this case study. And after the analysis, I realized that there were tons of different issues and struggles that this company was dealing with. So I decided to break it up into three categories to allow me to understand from a risk perspective which was the best to go and come back first in terms of urgency and priority. So the first group of issues were associated with this actually being a family business and it being a family. So looking into the family, understanding that having poor leadership from Joe, which is the father, I think it's good to understand that your leader, who is your CEO, you have to have a really, really strong leader. So pointing this out is really, really important because when it comes to having buy-in and understanding how to fix a business, the creator of this business does need to have some eyes on him. With this being a family business, looking at the wife and the daughter, who are not really even involved, but who are financially being able to financially support themselves, owning vehicles um, worth substantially more or close to the amount of money that they make does seem to be already a concern. With the wife making $120,000 with $100,000 car, and Julie making $100,000 a year with a $60,000 vehicle, and that they are contributing members to this family business, definitely was giving me a lot of red flags. There are a lot of members who are part of the family that are involved in this business. This can be an issue when trying to make smart decisions and trying to keep everybody happy. In a business, we learn and we understand that everybody isn't always happy. Um, Also, looking into the strife and the struggle of people really focus on what Cindy's doing. Apparently, she's a hard worker. She's concerned. She actually cares about business. But the fact that she's making substantially more than other contributors has definitely seemed to be an issue that Genos is facing, along with the sibling robbery. And it looks like it's kind of stemming from uh, a brother named Anthony who feels very, very entitled, but who is not very competent, and he seems very confused. Having strong church beliefs, but being really, really inconsistent in attendance could be an issue. I feel like that is up for debate and for discussion. And just kind of going back to having very, very expensive taste and those competitive salaries, including this Uncle Anthony character who's not related, but who's receiving substantial amount of income and the nice car as well too, as this business is struggling. I thought it was also good to note and pinpoint that you do have a lot of key members reacting poorly to the first meeting, having to actually chase members down, um, having the issue with just making sure everybody's involved, and having to even escort people out for disrespectful behavior definitely gives me some red flags for sure. The second category that I was able to find was the customer experience. Without customers being happy, you would see a decline in revenue. And without revenue, you do not have a strong business. So that being confusion to the customer, even walking in, being really unsure as to what to do, waiting to be seated even though they weren't busy, and just the whole idea of coming in and not being sure where to go, having all that ambiguity there. Your staff ignoring customers, not greeting upon arrival, being overstaffed, so that kind of runs into paying people and people not working, and the staff seeming more interested in themselves and the restaurant layout, this lack of sparkle, that kind of tying into the business not being appealing, not being clean. I think that these are all red flags. You want to make sure the customer's as happy as possible. And based on the customer experience, it seems that you do have a lot of food that is pretty mediocre with a few standout items. And having a lot of choices can be really overwhelming for a customer. So, having a business, you just always want to be mindful as to who your customers are and who you're supplying your products or your services to. I feel like that's some issues that this business has been going through. And I would think that your fast family and your customer experience all tie into the finances of the business. Yes, it's a small business, but we learned that it's based on the amount of revenue and based on the amount of people that this business served, along with the other key metrics. But the fact that this business has 27 stores and showing a net loss on their income statements, definitely a red flag. And having stores that are poor performers. The business is struggling, but you have 401k plans and auto insurance plans, and the fact that mortgage is being paid and your business is struggling, definitely a really, really big issue. And as you can see here, I've listed the different loans to the business. The fact that the family net worth is negative 1.75 million outside of the business, to me, is definitely a red flag. The fact that the bank is even giving out this amount of cash to individuals who aren't really bringing in a lot of revenue for their business. Utilizing the $17 million line of credit seems crazy, and that is a really, really big issue. And having no equity in your home or this vacation home or having these expensive vehicles, um, this family is tapped out financially for sure. And I do understand the importance of looking into the customer service, into the family, into the finances. But it's just really, really, it's really, really good. And it's really, really good for us to know and for us to understand before we are able to initiate a strong business plan and action plan to get this business back up and running. And we also much understand that this business needs to be successful in what. So it's good to understand the cons that's causing this business to not succeed and to not do well, and put those all out in the open for everyone to see. Um, and just make sure that everybody's on the same page and aligned with any of the goals or the future plans. So from all these issues, I was able to kind of rank these family and then customer service and finances. I believe the team believes that based on urgency and priority, this is the order. We do understand that finances are really, really important, but this business is so much in a hole that I did rank finances last because just spending a little bit of more time and a couple more months really trying to understand the finances, the finance side of the business. I do believe that it will require a little bit more work than cutting costs from a family perspective first. Cutting back on these luxury vehicles, like I had already mentioned, um, there's no equity in a lot of these things, but having this vehicle and having to pay a note could cause a strain on this company, on this family thriving, and just making sure that the family's needs are taken care of. A good thing that I don't believe Joe, this man that cares about everyone, has really thought and considered are key metrics for the employee, no matter the relation, just to hold everybody accountable and make sure people are doing their job because it's just what they're paid for. They're paid to do. And we want to look for opportunities to separate these wants from these needs. Try to do a better job at separating the business from the family. I do understand that family businesses, that can definitely be a struggle. But I think separating that and making sure the family is on the same page with that can help uh, fast forward the business and make the business succeed and be a lot better from a financial perspective. Customer service, there's definitely room there. Tons of ways to improve right off the bat. This is also a different way, a good way to cut costs. Just having all these extra waiters and people who are not contributing to the business, it'll be a good way to cut costs. Try to decrease variability in the food options, have a better proper ratio between staff and customers, being able to ensure cleanliness. If you have all these waiters and they're standing around, they should be assisting with cleaning and keeping the business clean and tidy. Um, from a finance perspective, I would definitely try to consider selling or phasing out some of these businesses, parts of the businesses that are not doing well, that are not contributing to the finances of this family business, and possible loan consolidation if that's even possible, and even consider changing pay rates, but based on the employee performance. I would think that would contribute a lot to this family's business success. And as I mentioned before, I think it'll be very, very important to really spend a lot more time on coming up with a financial plan to dig this family out the hole that they've ended up in, and to succeed and do well. Um, I think that Geno's, um, if their purpose and their mindset is good, I think that they would definitely do well and thrive, especially if the bread is as good as the customers are making it out to be. As long as everyone is on the same page and aligned with the same goals, I do believe that this business could turn around and be much more profitable in their future.